Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Compliance. And this movie came out in 2012 and is directed by Craig Zobel. I've always heard about this movie, and it was a film that's been on my watch list for a while because I heard it was supposed to be good, and I thought it was good. It's not a bad movie at all. It has its problems, and there were definitely moments where I was kind of frustrated at the film because of certain choices that it made. But overall, I did like the film. But I will say this much: this movie is based on a true story. Normally, I don't really mention that. And to say whether or not that makes the movie better or worse, I do feel so. A movie, it can be good or bad completely independent on what it's based on. But for me personally, I do feel as though the true story that this movie is based on is more interesting than the movie itself. Because based on what I was able to gather from what the movie was giving me, I do feel as though there was something more interesting than what we actually got. I'm not sure if there's a documentary on this story or not, but I do feel as though that would have been a better approach because there are some things where they clearly have to change it to be more entertaining and exciting for general audiences, which kind of annoyed me. I can't really give out an example because I don't want to spoil anything, even though it's not really a spoiler, but just in case people want this to be as vague as possible, I'll leave it like that for those people. The things that I liked about this movie, I liked the performances for the most part. I wasn't taken out by the acting. I kind of liked what was being set up in the beginning, and the characters were kind of likable. It felt like real people, and sure, they were kind of dumb in certain situations. Like, okay, you would do this, or that, but they did kind of give an excuse for these things because it was happening when they were like really busy, and also these are just people who are just like gullible enough to fall for this situation, and clearly taking advantage of people who just like are trained to follow orders and not question them. Like, I guess I could understand it from that perspective, and that's pretty much what they were trying to establish. Or at least that was my understanding of what they were trying to say. And I thought the scenes that had no music added to the overall tension of the film. And when the music was present, but kind of quiet in the background, kind of just like wallpaper in the background, I thought it was effective enough and worked well for me and didn't ruin the movie. Not that the rest of the music is bad, but the rest of it just didn't really stand out to me as anything memorable. Like, it could just be in any other movie and it would be like, yep, this is fine, or depending on the tone of the movie, could drag it down and make it a bad movie. But in the context of the movie, I thought it was fine. I did like where the story went, and I did like it that this movie was 90 minutes and it didn't waste a lot of time. And it gets right into the concept and story that it's trying to tell pretty quickly, I feel. And you do feel a sense of, oh, this is like really bad that this is happening. And this guy who's clearly taking advantage of the situation and manipulating these people. Like, I kind of get that to a certain extent. And while I don't really feel as though his performance was something that I was in love with, and his character was very obviously like not who he was saying he was. And also the fact that they even decided to show him what he looked like, I felt ruined a lot of tension for me. And I would have preferred that he was just mysterious. You never saw this man or whoever was doing all this. Like, if that was done in this movie and you never once saw them, you just heard his voice on the phone, I think it would have been better. And because we do see the person talking on the phone, and it just ruins a lot of tension for me. It also kind of makes that remainder of the runtime of the film less interesting to me because the fact that you don't know who this guy looks like works. The less you know, the better. But I just wish that this movie understood that a lot better. There were choices in this movie that easily could have been changed or just cut out entirely because they just dragged the movie down and just made it kind of dumb. And there were some scenes where, I'm not even kidding, they're probably going to be very effective for certain people, but unfortunately for me personally, because I wasn't super glued to the situation that we were in, there were elements that were dragging the movie down for me, and the build up to certain things just made certain elements of the story that were supposed to be on paper really dark just felt flat for me and ineffective. Like I didn't really care all that much. But to go back to one more positive that I do have with this film, I liked how things wrapped up. I didn't feel as though that was poorly handled, and apparently this movie was made for less than $1 million, and I do think that they do a pretty good job with that money, and it looks better than just a $1 million low-budget movie, and honestly, they don't really go in many locations. It's mostly just in this one restaurant. And one thing that I will mention is that I do feel as though there were too many close shots in this movie where I couldn't really see the location very well. Not that it's needing that in every single scene. Like once the plot of the movie gets started, I do feel as though that's where it works for me, but closer towards the very beginning of the film, I just wish that I had a few wide shots so I could just see the buildings or what room characters were in a bit better. Just get a better feel of the environment we were in, but unfortunately we don't really get much of that. It's very minimal. But in terms of issues and things that I have to praise about this movie, that's about it. I like this movie. I didn't regret watching it. It's currently on Netflix, so if you want to check it out, you can do so there. And it was good. I liked it. It's just some elements that made me feel as though this was kind of a missed opportunity. Like something that could have been like really fantastic and great. Just certain things could have either been cut out or just changed it to make a better narrative for me personally. So still, I would recommend it despite my criticisms. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Compliance a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thought of Compliance, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Scent of a Woman. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.